What is up, guys? My name is Ebenezer Frimpong and welcome back to the channel. And today is a very special episode of Mythbusters. In this video, I'm going to be debunking 3 major myths that stop people from pursuing high-ticket dropshipping. Now, of course, I can't get into debunking these myths without rolling the intro. So the very first major myth that prevents people from pursuing high-ticket dropshipping is that you need thousands of dollars in starting capital. People assume that since your products cost a lot more, therefore you need a lot more money to pursue high-ticket dropshipping. And the question that's always associated with this myth is, hey, what if I get a $1,000 order on my store and I don't have $1,000 in my bank account to go ahead and fulfill that order? Then what? So obviously I need $1,000 or more to pursue high-ticket dropshipping. So let's go ahead and debunk that myth. No, you do not need thousands of dollars to start high-ticket dropshipping. And here's why. First of all, if you receive a $1,000 order, you don't need $1,000 to fulfill that order. High-ticket profit margins are usually around 30%. So a $1,000 order, that means you need $600 to $700 to go out and fulfill that order. And yes, I still understand some people may not have $600 or $700 to fulfill that order. But there's 3 ways to combat that, 3 ways to get around that. So the very first way is when you list your products on your store, you're going to add a buffer to your processing times. So if your supplier says, hey, orders take 2 days to process, that's fine. Do not list 2 days on your store. You're going to need to list 3 to 4 days processing time before your order ships out. That's the sentence you're going to need to include on your product pages. So what this is going to do for you is it's going to add a buffer to your processing times. You doubled your processing time, right? This gives you time for Shopify payments to deposit the $1,000 in your bank account, and you can use $600 or $700 out of that to go ahead and fulfill and process that order. So when Shopify Payments deposits that $1,000 order into your bank account and you go ahead and pay for it, it will be around 2 to 3 days. And on the 3rd day, when you place the order with your supplier, you still have room for them to process and ship out that order. So that's the very first thing you can do to fulfill orders without having a very big starting capital, starting budget. The second thing you can do is also get a high credit limit credit card. If you have a credit card and you receive a $1,000 order, you can go ahead and use that credit card to go fulfill that order. Why? Because you know you'll have $1,000 in your account in a couple days and you can go ahead and pay off that credit card immediately. And with this way, it actually helps you build your credit and helps you advance through credit card levels, right? So you can move up different credit cards a lot faster if you're using this method. So a credit card is not a bad thing. If you have one with a high credit limit, you can definitely use that for high ticket dropshipping. The third thing you can do is to use PayPal credit. So here's how that works. PayPal credit is also based on credit, and PayPal will give you $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, whatever amount, and they'll give it to you in your PayPal account. Now, a lot of people think you can only use PayPal credit to go ahead and buy things online. That is not the case. Once you have PayPal credit, you can actually deposit that amount of money into your account. PayPal credit does not charge interest for 6 months. So let's say PayPal credit gives you $1,000 or $2,000, right? And you receive $1,000 order. What you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to log into your PayPal account and you're going to withdraw $600, $700, whatever the amount is to fulfill your order into your bank account. PayPal will take a small fee of, I think, $30, or maybe it's 1% of what you're trying to withdraw. You take that, you go ahead and fulfill your order, and you pay that back immediately, right? You have 6 months to pay it, but obviously you do not want to wait for the 6 months. Pay for it immediately, right? And that $30 fee, you're going to have to take a hit, but it's okay, right? You'll recover once you have a solid nest in your account to fulfill orders more continuously. So those are the 3 ways to deal with having a small budget when you're getting started. You do not need to have thousands of dollars to start high-ticket dropshipping. The second major myth that prevents people from pursuing high-ticket dropshipping is that no one is going to buy from you because you won't be able to compete on price. And why would they buy from you when they can go ahead and go buy from a big box retailer? Well, let's debunk that myth as well. So here's the thing. With high-ticket dropshipping, there's a policy called MAP pricing. MAP pricing stands for Minimum Advertised Pricing Policy, and you only want to work with suppliers that have this policy. What does it do? MAP policy ensures that you don't compete on price. It means that everyone who's selling that supplier's product has to sell it at that minimum price. So for example, let's say I wanted to sell a wine cooler. I go to a supplier and I get approved to sell their products, to sell their wine coolers. The supplier says, hey, on our wine coolers, there's a MAP price of $1,500. That means I have to sell that product for a minimum of $1,500. I can sell above it, but I can never sell below it. And guess what? All of the other retailers that are selling that supplier's products also have to abide by that minimum advertised pricing policy. They also have to follow that MAP policy. So then a customer goes to Google, types in wine cooler, and then they add the name of the supplier or the brand of that wine cooler. All the wine coolers come up from different retailers, different online stores. Everyone is going to be selling at $1,500. Typically, retailers will not sell above MAP policy because all their other competitors are all selling at that MAP price of $1,500. So every one of your competitors is selling at $1,500. You are no longer competing on price. The customer sees that store A is selling this wine cooler for $1,500, store B is selling it for $1,500, store C is selling it for $1,500 as well. So that's the first thing. You're not competing on price. And two, why would they buy from you instead of buying from a big box retailer? Well, that's very simple. Your store looks like a big box retailer. That's the first thing. Your store is not a typical Shopify store. You're not building your store to sell cheap products. And when it comes to those big box retailers, all they're doing is instilling trust in their customers. And trust is something I teach you exactly how to add to your store in my high-ticket dropshipping course, the Frimpong Ecom Academy. So building trust with your customers is not very difficult. Trust is the biggest thing, and two, you're not competing on price. Because if they go on that big box retailer's website and see that product for $1,500 and they come to you and they see the same price, there's things you can do to close that sale and get that sale. So competing on price is not something you have to worry about, and you don't have to worry about losing all your sales to big box retailers. And another thing, most high ticket products are being sold by big box retailers as well, but they're also using the exact same suppliers that you're using. They have to follow that MAP policy as well. The third and final major myth that prevents people from pursuing high ticket dropshipping is that finding legitimate suppliers to work with is impossible. No, it's not. Right? Flat out, it's not hard to find legitimate suppliers to work with. Here's the thing. Suppliers are out there waiting for you to knock on their door and say, hey, can I sell your products? Who doesn't want to make more money? Everyone wants to make more money. Now, every supplier has their own process for accepting new retailers, right? They just don't accept every single person that knocks on their door. But finding legitimate suppliers to actually work with is super simple. And here's a video that I have on exactly how to find suppliers right up here. It should pop up here. And that's pretty much it. I went ahead and debunked all three major myths. And that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, and most definitely subscribe. And if you're not already in my high ticket dropshipping course, be sure to check it out in the link down below or up top. See you guys next time.
Me and Mook brought a rollies to the function playing freestyle. I just bought a water, paid 100, told her keep that. 100 bands when I was young, I never thought I'd see that. Now I got 200 bands zipped up in the bing bag. Meezy came in with the Gucci kicks, said to never choose a chick, but if you ever choose a chick, make sure you don't